be generated such that the issue is discussed on its merits and demerits, and then a decision will be taken. You are aware this is not the first time a motion to remove a commissioner is moved on the floor of Parliament.
Yeah.
We have had Zakir removed. We have had ministers sanctioned and impeached. But the difference between this minister should be removed. But with the removal of commissioners, which the backbenchers, it's entirely the decision of the House. And if you read that particular section I talked about, it excludes the Speaker, the Clerk, the other appointees. Submitted ministerial policy statements are made. These ministerial policy statements come to Parliament. Then you should also be able to ask, are those things there in the ministerial policy statements? Once you establish that they were actually there, part of the ministerial policy statements, then you can go into confirming indeed these things were part of the budget. And once that is established, I think the petition would collapse, because then there would be no basis to hold the people accountable for. Because under the law, if you check section 6 of that particular law, Administration of Parliament Act, it talks about functions of the commissioners. One of the things the commissioners are supposed to do is to prepare budget and expenditure estimates for Parliament. They are supposed to determine, in consultation with the MPs, their remunerations and terms of service of the. So at the end of the, whatever they do must be approved by Parliament. So how do they ensure whatever they do is approved by Parliament? That is one, if they engage them, because the Public Finance Management Act requires that when you are making the budget framework paper, it must be a consultative process. All stakeholders must be involved. MPs are stakeholders. Were they part of the budget process? These are questions that are all going to be interrogated in answering that petition. But to give any person aggrieved the opportunity to be heard is very, very important, and the signature collection is an effort in that direction. I do not see anything wrong with it. Okay. And that does not mean the accused persons are already condemned. It just means somebody is aggrieved. They must have a platform to be able to air out their concerns, and the procedures are laid down. On withdrawal of a signature, I've been asking myself what kind of MP that one is, who just signs things anyhow. And the record is clear that that person is not even a member of the opposition cabinet. So how then would she claim that she thought it is one of these meetings, cabinet meetings of the oppositions? Wouldn't she read? I think that would, if I was a voter in her area, I would seek to understand what kind of MPs that who does not understand what she's signing. Of course, that will tell you the kind of parliament we have. It also points to the fact that there are so many decisions being made without proper scrutiny, and that can be a very dangerous precedence. And that is actually representative of the parliament we have. There are so many issues that have not been thoroughly examined on the merits, and a decision is taken, which doesn't augur well. We think she has a right to withdraw her signature.
But some of your colleagues have left this country.
I don't know what you mean by, because MPs move. Anybody can move.
I know, but for us, we think they are fearing the pressure.
I think if I have a travel arrangement, I have a right to travel. I don't know how this is linked to the petition, that you are traveling.
Because others are withdrawing, someone is running away. Nobody is on the lead and is running away.
Nobody is on run. What I know is Parliament has been, as I said, Parliament has been prorogued. There has not been sitting of the House until the President opened it a few days ago. And if people have travel arrangements, you see some MPs are here. We are here. Why are you not holding us responsible? Has that been on ground?
Will answer to that.
I don't think anybody has run away. I think people have travel itinerary and they are simply moving according to their travel plans. And at an opportune time, because now the session has begun, there will be an opportunity to have that matter presented. Even if the signatures were collected all then, there would be nowhere you would take it because the House was not sitting.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Papa, I want to understand, how do you see this future like, the censor motion? How do you see the future like?
Thank you very much. I want to start by saying that censoring is a process and it does not end in getting the signatures. Actually, right now, the signatures are to support the motion to be brought in Parliament.
Because you only need
so
177.
that it can be discussed and, you know, why I'm bringing this is that some people's understanding is like the signing means the commissioners are censored. So I wanted to bring this out because it is a process. You remember along the way on media there was communication that the NRM members of Parliament were being guided to hold as they wait for further guidance.
Because it sounded like an opposition affair.
It is not an opposition affair. That's why if you see the people who are bringing the petition, those who are bringing the motion,
some of them are rebel NRM.
They are not just, this is beyond parties.
Okay.
Because this is a Parliament affair. And the commissioners are not only members of opposition. Remember, the three are actually NRM members of Parliament. So, from the word go, this is not an opposition affair. This is an issue of Parliament, and it is questioning expenditures. As Honorable Guzu has said, everyone has the right to be heard. So, this is a process, and one would ask, why have other people signed and others have not signed? It is based on individual analysis. Because you don't just hurry to sign anything. There are people who might have had upfront information. Maybe they have this data and they are convinced that there is a problem. But there are others, you know, we belong to different committees. Some people in budget committee, others in, you know, parliamentary, you know. So that some people have been taking days to sign, others have not yet signed, others hurried to sign the first time. So it is about individual assessment. What is it you are signing? Because you have to ask yourself.
Because others have signed and withdrawing.
For me, I know of one person who is withdrawing. As Honorable said, if you see the reason for withdrawal and the reason for signing, then you would really ask, at this level of leadership, you go signing things that you do not know. It is a bit very funny. And the person actually she signed with has also said he called her and explained everything. But that is also her right. We don't want to condemn her for that. She has her reasons why she had to withdraw. And so far for me, that is the only person I know that has withdrawn. People are waiting for the State of Nation address to see if the president was going to give a directive or make some specific directions. But that did not happen. He made his speech and he said corruption cannot be tolerated. So I think that is where other people are going to pick from. Because there was this move, you know, His Excellency maybe is not into this, but I think he was very clear. He said, as long as it is proven corruption cannot be tolerated, these people should be brought to book. So as I said, the president aside, this is an issue of Parliament. These are backbench commissioners. There are many things that they are supposed to do. Unfortunately, for us who are the first timers, earlier commissioners used to be elected, voted for by members of Parliament. But I think from 9th Parliament, that decision was reversed. They are now appointed. So there is also this feeling of the closeness and to whom the commissioners are accounting to. So all of those things have been brought out. I remember when the NRM members of Parliament were in Chankwans, there was a move that let that also be reversed, that the backbench commissioners should be voted for, so that they are accountable. Budgeting, as we said, is a process, and a lot of budget works are done at committee levels. And that is why some people are like, let us bring forward the points to justify whether this award was erroneous, whether this award is misappropriation, or whether this award, the money, was actually appropriated. Those are, I think, things which will be brought up. Parliament, now the 4th session has been opened. We have the budget reading on the 14th, and from there the normal sessions are going to start, because almost 1 month there has not been sitting. But the processes of collecting the signatures have been there. Why the signatures? That would be another question, because this motion could as well just be brought for discussions on floor of Parliament. There are members who tried, especially some of those who were bringing up the petition. Yeah, so they tried. I think they felt they were not being given space to air out. So why the signatures have to be there? If they get the signatures, it almost becomes mandatory that this gets its place on the order paper, and it is formally discussed, and we see where the processes end. But as I said, many members are waiting for the justifications, so that you don't jump maybe to burn your hands. We did the State of Nation address speech. Some people already got convinced, and other people are scattered out there because Parliament has not been on session. So on some people running away, I've not heard of anyone who has run away. Members of Parliament have travels, whether formal or informal. Now that this is our break, like a holiday break, there are people who can intend to travel. So for me, I wouldn't say that there are some members that are running away because of this motion that is coming up. So I know when Parliament resumes, there will be fair justice. Right now, we cannot say the commissioners actually already have a problem, or they have already embezzled, or whatever it is. So we are waiting for Parliament that has already resumed. When we start the meetings, the sittings, we are very sure everything will be brought up front.
But are you going to sign or you have signed?
I have not signed. I have not signed, and I was among those who were waiting for justifications. Because, as I said, in Parliament, the way we belong to different committees, there are people who are in finance committee or budgeting. Okay. They have hands-on information more than some of us. Because for me, I cannot sign something that I don't have enough justification for.
Thank you.
But as His Excellency said, if there is misappropriation or embezzlement, I will be there to sign.
Okay.
And I'm almost making my head to there. It's because I have gathered my data to convince me to sign.
Okay. What about Tima? NRM is still waiting for the guidance from the president. You're the original whip. How far with the guidance? Oh, have you signed or you have not signed also?
Thank you very much. I want to start by saying I have not signed.
Okay.
I have not signed, and as Honorable Lilian has alluded to, censor is a process, and the signing of documents should not be on hurry. Actually, people commit a lot of mistakes by signing documents anyhow without reading. If you are educated, if you are an elite, there's no way you can rush signing a document, because you may sign a document of where you are going to be, slaughtered. So even when I go to banks, whether for credit processes and other things, I always take my time to read. So because of that, I have not signed, and I'm still understanding. I want to thank Honorable Guzu for being an intelligent legislator and an organized person. We watch what happens either on social media, on TV, and we read on papers. When this issue came up, we were already on recess, and I saw Honorable Guzu, Honorable Odria, Honorable Saro Pendi, Honorable Sechikubo in conference hall. I don't know if that was B or A. We have two conference halls there, but it was a conference hall in Parliament, discussing whether this action has merits or not. And I remember Honorable Guzu raising a very pertinent issue. What we are censoring for, is it not what we passed? Does it have substance? Did we do the due diligence? He asked those questions. And as Honorable Lilian Paparo has said, some people have first-hand information because one, they're in budget committee. These things come through them. Others don't. So some of the people might have had opportunity to know whether this thing was in the budget or not. So Honorable Guzu took his time. But I don't know. Later on, he formed his opinion of either signing or not signing, and he acted accordingly.
I think he has not signed.
You don't think you have to say it correctly.
That's why he's here. You will clarify.
And you didn't ask him for that. Why did you only ask one person? So he will tell us whether he has signed or not. As for me, as Honorable Lilian said, I have not signed. And as NRM regional whip, we have 3 commissioners who are NRM, 1 commissioner who is opposition. I whip my members of parliament to do something in parliament when I am given instructions or directives by my boss, government chief whip. And government chief whip gives directives to NRM members of parliament when there's a position reaching to the SEC. That is the highest organ of NRM, the ruling party. And the SEC is chaired by His Excellency. So recently, our Secretary General, Right Honorable Richard Todong, has just given instructions to the government chief whip to furnish him with all the information pertaining these issues, the allegations, accusations in parliament, so that he can furnish the chairman of the SEC, that is His Excellency, to bring these issues to his attention so that SEC can sit. And then when SEC looks into this and finds loopholes or finds no loopholes, then we will be advised. And my boss, the government chief whip, will give me instructions. I will pass these instructions to my members of parliament like Honorable Lilian, who are under my supervision and guidance. Then we will see what to do. As he said, censor is a process. Should NRM highest organ find that there was a mistake by these commissioners or by parliament and advises us to do so, then we move on and all sign. Should the NRM party find that these were things that had no weaknesses or mistakes, then we have no reason, because we do not want to lose taxpayers' money by doing things in an erroneous way, by doing things with emotions. Then at the end of the day, somebody takes the institution of parliament to court. Somebody takes government to court, and we lose money to individuals. I am aware, and you are aware, in this country, the judiciary tends to, bend or favor an individual than an institution or an organization. I have seen that trend. So I wouldn't want to make some individuals, reap big by taking government to court, yet it is something that, we did ourselves. I did a bit of research. I consulted, and you are aware some of the things came up. I have a copy of a certified document from clerk, part of the budget which we passed last financial year, which was for this financial year, where this item featured. If you can allow me, I can read for you the section. This is the item 2111104, employee gratuity, annual gratuity. All members of let me see again. No, it's this one. It is item 211105, ex gratia for political leaders, where they put retirement benefits for former speakers and deputy speakers. I remember you you hosted me here to discuss over the benefits that were given to all the speakers.
Yes.
You hosted me here. I remember, if you reflect back to what you extracted out of me, I said it was not good to continuously waste money on past leaders when they are even in other offices. For example, when we had the State of Nation address, the speaker introduced His Excellency as the first speaker of parliament, or a former speaker of parliament. So, meaning the president, as of now, as a former speaker of parliament, will be benefiting. Yet, it's not necessary for us to now subject any resource of this country to the president as a former speaker of parliament. So I came out clearly to say that was wrong. But our hands were tied as the current legislators, because the previous parliament came up with a law that these past leaders should be rewarded, which is now here. So when you now come to item number 7, leaving the rest, deputy speaker, retired deputy speaker, which are above here, item number 7, Roman number 7, is talking about service award to the leaders of opposition, where they put a figure of 500 million. Then service award to backbench parliament commissioners, which is 400 million per person. So this was part of the budget which we passed the other year, because 400, no, they have put here 400,000, but when you come to the total here, it is 400 million. So this is a mathematical error. Many times, when we are doing maths, you can put 400,000, but you put zeros up there, meaning it is 400 million. I did mathematics. You put the zeros up, meaning you don't need to put all the zeros down here. Maybe this is what these people did. That is a maths method of calculating. So it's not a mistake. So that's why they came up with a total of 1.2 billion, which now brings the total to 3.6 billion. And this is a certified true copy of this document by the clerk of parliament. So with such documents, I started thinking, what is this petition talking about? If we passed this in our budget of the other this financial year, but we passed it the other year, the other budget year. Now, if it is what was running, if it is a part of what was used to buy the past leaders' things, like the vehicles which were given to the speakers, where our hands were tied to say no, the speakers came and received it. Which parliament and which budget was following the constitutional review, which the previous parliament came up with, that the past leaders should be rewarded. Now, coming to petition this, yet we passed it in the budget ourselves, will mean I am, you know, I am a kind of I'm licking the vomit that I vomited. I am ridiculous. I am, you know, the right English word has failed to come, but I wanted to use that right English word. You know, I am a kind of contradicting myself. Yeah, I'm contradicting myself. I pass a budget, then I begin challenging it, meaning I did not know what I passed. So in that regard, I said, let me understand. Let me investigate. Let me interrogate. And I talked to a colleague who is a member of budget committee. I'm not going to mention his name. And this colleague, I asked him, why did you guys apportion this money to our commissioners? Because sometimes when we are doing these things on the floor, members are not given that adequate time to peruse through. That is one fact that we can't deny. Members are not given time to peruse through. A document or a budget is uploaded on our Hansard, sometimes 2 hours when we are going to pass. Or documents are given to us, bills, resolutions,
petitions are, some of them are even uploaded when you're already there. Sometimes even you guys follow these things very well. You even hear members raising procedure. Are we proceeding well when the document is not on our iPad? So Speaker will always direct the clerk that can you upload the document on the iPad so that members have it. So with some of those, members don't have that chance to read. So they went ahead and passed this budget. Now I asked my colleague, why did you guys do this? Because it makes us look like we are not serious. How do you appropriate 500 million for one person? What are you awarding this person for? Okay. 400 million. This is erroneous. It is uncalled for. But yet we committed Parliament by passing it as a budget. So how then do I turn around? I start, signing to petition the commissioners whom were awarded on the floor. That's why Honorable Semuju came up and said, many times he tells members to read these documents. You abbrace yourself. That's why people like Oguzu, even if you are not in that committee, make an effort to go and attend that committee, as a special budget committee, finance committee, national economy, where we are, getting loans. You need to understand what loans are we getting from.
Maybe that's why they are trying to contradict themselves.
So that I look at it as contradiction. So this is now what happened. So this member told me, we did this thing also hurriedly. Can you imagine a member of budget committee said we did it hurriedly because we thought this is ours. Okay. This is ours. This is parliament budget. So we didn't need to, waste time on it, and we passed it. So now I said, did you sign? He said, yes, I signed. I said, okay, you passed a budget, you're a member of budget committee, and you signed. So what are you doing to yourself? It's like you're putting a rope on your neck for something that you did. He said, I even wanted to withdraw my signature, but I don't know how to do it. So you see, these are some of the things that we have put ourselves through, but it is very, very unfair that we have needs of the taxpayers. We have health centers that need support. We have schools. Look at, you guys stay in Central Division here. Move to Prison Cells Primary School with wooden windows, with desks which are all broken down. Move to demonstration school. This is government demon primary school. These are government traditional schools within, but they are not well furnished. They are not well supported. Yeah. Yet we are appropriating big chunks of money to individuals in a very erroneous way. So we made errors. And as the president said, he has all the information now. He has been hearing that there's this Ministry of Finance, Parliament, MDAs, Parliament, ministries, Parliament. Now he has all the evidence on his chest now. He's going to act. So, as regional whip, we are now waiting for the processes of SEC. Should SEC deem it fit that these commissioners should be sanctioned, we will mobilize quickly. As NRM, for us, it is just a call away. We quickly mobilize, sign, or if the colleagues who have already signed have generated enough signatures, we join them, and the speaker will allow opportunity to table this thing, and we join in censoring these commissioners. But to rush to sign, I don't want to look like my colleague who has gone to withdraw signature, giving excuse. I don't want to look like what you are saying. Some people sign and they have taken off from the country, whether that's true or not. I don't want to commit myself on that. So I don't want to be like that. I am a very organized person. I take my time to understand what I am committing myself for. I don't condone corruption. I don't accept my people to suffer in the expense of those few who think they are wise. So I will do the right thing at the right time.
Thank you very much. Before I take on Honorable Oguzu, and Honorable, will you sign if you are a member of Parliament? Because someone has gone with at least 3 or 4 city schools. One person, 500 million. That's 3 or 4 city schools.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. Absolutely. As an accountant,
will not sign.
Will you contradict yourself?
Yeah. I will not sign if I was in that parliament.
For your information, I'm an accountant.
If-
Thank you very much.
If first of all, I want to appreciate the members of parliament for the concerns that they have raised, and I want to thank them for the views of the people from West Nile that they are representing the parliament, the 11th parliament. First of all, I want to thank Honorable Atimali for
Not signing.
for the lamentations that is making as far as the issue of the misappropriation is concerned. It is unfortunate that we have members of parliament who up to now were ignorant that these monies they're now talking about to censor their colleagues, they are the ones who approved it. This is a clear indication that members of parliament, the members of the 11th parliament, they have failed in the two of their core mandates of appropriation and on oversight. First of all, I want to thank Atima for being open. If you didn't read that document, I have a copy here.
Yeah.
This
And
is a
it has
public
gone
document.
everywhere, yeah.
This is a public document from the office
can't
of the
hide
clerk
it.
to parliament.
Yeah.
Clerk to parliament. So this item is there under statutory budget. The whole detail is here. The SC has rightly said this is item number 211105 ex gratia for political leaders. So it is clear. Item number 7, service award to the leader of opposition, 500 million. Service award
3 seed schools.
to backbench parliament commissioners, 400 million times 3,
2 seed schools. That is
1.2
5.
billion, totaling to 1.7, which is in question. So the question is, I was perturbed. I've been following this matter spontaneously in all media avenues. I was perturbed on one of the TVs that some 2 members of parliament were arguing. One is saying we did not sign. We did not approve. One is saying this did not come. This is not part of the parliament budget. So therefore, these people sat, allocated this money. It was not passed by parliament, but it was implemented.
Maybe that's why some of them are running away.
Now the question is, this is a clear indication that people go to parliament just to relax. People go to parliament to enjoy themselves. They do not care what discussions are being done in the various committees. They do not care which document is coming to them for scrutiny and for passing. This is a very critical role of members of parliament. Without any contradiction, on behalf of the people, I must say, I'm very disappointed in all of you, the members of parliament, because you have let us down.
Yeah, what does Alice say?
How do you appropriate money of 1.7 billion yourself in your coming out to tell people that, you know what, these people would not do the due diligence? Where were you? We sent you to scrutinize this budget on our behalf. This is a clear indication that you have failed us. You have failed to perform in the mandate that we gave you. So you actually, in history, there's that what is called appeasement policy. You simply want to appease the Ugandans that now, you know what, you've come to realize that so and so is being corrupt, and therefore I'm exposing that person. In actual sense, you're exposing your ignorance.
Yeah.
You're exposing your ignorance. And this is a clear indication that people are there on the look for what benefits them. You remember the other time when my economics lecturer, Mr. Ramadan Gobi, was asked, how do you improve the financial health?
Don't remind us of Atima.
The financial health of this country. One of the critical issues he said that we need to realign our budgetary allocations. And one of the critical sectors he pointed at is parliament. That parliament of Uganda is being over-financed.
We have the budget.
Parliament is being over-financed. And what did not happen? Even without analyzing his statement, the opposition, the NRM, the independents, all the members of parliament, the way they swank
Because they
to
will also
swallow.
have their service delivery to the
They
to
swank
the voters.
to swallow the secretary to treasury and the minister of finance. Since then, that man has not talked. But when he brought I said, yes, this is where we could actually start from, improving
But you intend
financial
to go there.
allocation.
You intend to go there and you want
So
things to be halved.
this, you see, parliament leadership should not be looked for enrichment. We should look for leadership as a way of providing services.
Thank you. Let's ring the bell.
So-
You will come back. Let's ring the bell.
Okay. Even me as a councillor, I interest myself to attend all the committees to know what is in health and education, production, finance, works and technical services. So that I also take note of the recommendation that members of the various committees are making. They are making.
That's when
So
when the
when-
committees are not sitting at the same time, but
So
in
when-
parliament over 20 committees sit
when
at the
those
same time.
when those when
can't make
those
that
recommendations are made, you take note. Then too, even if you don't have time to attend all the committees, the rules of procedure, local government standard rules of procedure, rule number 14, states that invitation for meetings with the relevant documents should be submitted to members 7 days before the date of the day of passing the budget of the meeting. So what I entailed in this, for example, in the budget passing, what are the key documents? We have the draft budget, the procurement plan. We have work plan. And all those documents are entailed, they are part of the passing of the budgeting process. And I hope local government is not too far away from parliament, that they also have parliamentary rules of procedure which stipulates the period of time when members are supposed to be furnished to these documents before they come to pass.
Thank you.
So why should you be given an adequate time? It is to ensure that if you, for example, you're in the Committee of Economy and someone was in finance, there were recommendations there, so that you can now go through all the relevant committees to understand the nitty-gritties of the budget. Because budget passing, let me tell you, is one of the most critical roles that no leader must run away from.
Thank you.
So therefore, with due respect to our members of parliament, as a matter of fact, you have no reason now to rise up at this moment to say you want to censor so and so because they are portioning money for themselves. If you continue with this, you are continuing to show your ignorance, and therefore this is going to count on you because one, you have failed to perform your core role. Two, you are like someone who only wants good for yourself, not good for the colleagues. You awarded them, now they are getting the money. Now your people are now making noise. Actually, I want to thank NUP. NUP is one of the parties which has brought this matter to light. Because if NUP did not come out openly, even the NRMs were not going to wake up from that deep sleep.
Are they sleeping?
When they said we cannot allow our leader of opposition to get this money, and yet the taxpayers are suffering, that's how the NRMs also woke up and say, you know what? Actually, we had also awarded 3 of our colleagues the 400 million, so therefore let's also censor them.
Okay.
This is a total double standard.
Thank you. Honorable Guzu, why did you contradict yourself and according to Honorable Atima?
I think I need to start by clarifying.
Yes.
Right now I've signed.
Okay.
I signed because I was able to
Understand.
examine the issues.
Okay.
I want to say Parliament is a house of record.
But Goroba was roasting you on social media.
I don't know what you mean by roasting. I
WhatsApp platforms.
I'm such informed person to
You were
be
there to answer him immediately.
roasted because I wanted to provide relevant information. Parliament is a house of record, and I want to say budget process does not start at the approval of the budget. It
But
starts
Honorable
with
Atima has brought out the record. You want it.
it starts with the work plans. I talked about budget frameworks. I talked about policy statements. All these things have reports. when you go to the library and on the Hansard and you want to extract these things, I would want to see someone table those evidences that
But where did he get
this that was read here is work of Parliament. In fact, that document they have should have helped them sign that petition. Now that they have the right evidence, they should then allow the discussion to take place with all that evidence being tabled. Because right now, you don't know what is being tabled. I've looked at that document. It has so many errors. I would want to see it compare, because all that you see, all that you see is a work plan, and this work plan should be on what we call IFMIS. We have a system called IFMIS on which you upload work plan. I think for them it's even worse, because there's NRM works with others, whether it is junk. That's why they said they are waiting for a matching order. From who? It means they cannot independently think.
Someone is to think for them.
Somebody has to make a decision for them somewhere, and they must go and they rubber stamp whatever has been. And that's how Parliament works. And the other thing in Parliament is you can make decisions.
That's how it works, and you are part of the Parliament that works like that. What
Sometimes
But he's independent.
Yeah, of course. That's why I agree with him to some extent, and I also disagree with him.
Yes.
Because I'm not one of those uninformed MPs. Every time we are challenging procedural grounds on which certain decisions are made, every time we are disagreeing with the president. For example, when we are passing the exercise duty bill, MPs say that they don't want taxes on fuel and some additional taxes. And they voted against it. But what did the speaker rule? The IAs have it, and yet it has been well captured. So there are such things that happen. But it's still us to hold those people accountable. It is us, the MPs, who can call the commissioners to order. And I think this effort is in the right direction for Parliament to assert its power over those people, so that they do the best thing. There are actually many other grounds on which those people can be impeached.
Let me summarize.
And you need a platform to be able to have that matter discussed.
Why do you, Honorable Lilian, why do you want people to first, someone has to first think for you, as like Oguzu is claiming?
Thank you very much.
And then you come and understand.
That's why when you asked Oguzu whether he has finally signed, that means he did not sign from day one.
Yeah.
Because he was giving himself time.
Exactly.
He was giving himself time to internalize and understand whether he should sign or not.
Yes.
And that time is not limited or is not fixed for everyone. As for him, finally, he has now concluded and has decided to sign. Probably some of us are still in need of further information. And I made a statement.
Yes.
I said that there was guidance from government chief whip.
Yeah.
To hold on, not a directive.
That's why he's saying you
not
are
a
waiting for
directive
someone's
that
decision.
don't sign. And they remember
No,
that guidance.
said they have been
Remember
directed.
that guidance came after 10 days.
Okay.
That guidance came after 10 days. So those who wanted to sign signed. Those who did not want to sign did not sign.
Maybe
For me particularly, I gave you the reasons.
people are
I
still waiting
cannot
for
just
Chankwas
hurry.
to decide.
Excuse me, there are many members of NRM who signed. And I have told you, Honorable Saro Pendi is an NRM member. Sechikubo is an NRM member.
Because you cannot wait for someone to think
And for me,
her.
that is why I was saying, and I have been telling my colleagues, this thing is beyond the party. Because even if 170 plus people sign, this motion will be brought to Parliament. It will be debated. After that, there will be the real voting. So you cannot, you cannot start criticizing people now. What? Because you may need their vote, whether for or against. For the main last final. So that's why even the petitioners, some people are telling them, you people, this language you're using to criticize those who have not signed. You never know when you need them. So it is individual analysis. For me, I could never go and sign something I don't have justification for. So that at time T, I was giving myself time to understand. This document which was read here, as Honorable Oguzu said, where is it? There have been questions on our parliamentary platforms. People have been asking. This document came, by the way, there's another one where they have crossed their fake. It is also circulating. So that is why he took the initiative to write that let this thing be, whether from the handset, let it be extracted.
That's
whether
why he said
from-
he's an
So
informed
he
MP.
said, he's
don't know who's
informed,
that.
but do you know that he has written to clerk to parliament to give him this information,
To get
to get the information. Yet he is a member of parliament.
And he is informed.
He is informed, but he's writing to get information. You understand?
How did they
So
pass the budget?
what do I
If he
want
was
to say?
informed, how did he
What
pass
do
the
I
budget?
want to say?
That was very strategic.
What
on
I
my
want
side.
to what I want to say.
How did he pass the budget?
What I
Because
want to say
now,
is that
is Oguzu on record?
let us make a reference to the last budget
Yes.
which was passed.
Yeah.
And I want to appreciate my colleague for what he has said. There are challenges
Don't
in
abandon.
parliament to give time to internalize and understand all these things. We have gone to parliament where a committee is supposed to present. And this committee is still sitting. They are signing as they are arriving to present.
And
the last
approve.
budget approval, if you people observe, people came to the house.
It was at the judge.
The budget committee was not ready. The report was not yet ready. And remember, there's a time limit to this approval.
Legal.
So they had to suspend. They went. They came back. They were not ready. They had to suspend. They came back, and you saw the way the budget was approved.
Who read it that
You know,
day?
the way it was just
Who had
rushed.
the time?
And as the suspensions were done here, the budget committee was still running back to sit.
Yeah.
And
Who can solve
what
that
is
problem?
what who can I think we agree. I think
very good
that is what he appreciated.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say that what he pointed out is factual.
Yeah.
Who can solve that problem? It is parliament.
Yes.
And we are saying that problem is there.
Yes.
We cannot run away from it. That problem is there. So when we are the actual budget presentation
Now,
on the day of
do we have
approval,
questions on 11th Parliament?
let me just mention this. And my dear, I can tell you, this is not just an issue of 11th Parliament. This is something for us we have got there. Actually, we are more worried
It is a
as
traditional
newcomers.
Parliament.
We are more worried as first timers. Because you ask yourself, for me, I've been working with an NGO. I know what it means to approve a budget.
Exactly.
You must have all these things, you must stick. But there, you get confused. Things are moving in the house. That's
don't know
why
what
somebody is like, people are saying no. And someone is saying the eyes have it. And the powers of a speaker on that chair for you to undo what he said. Honorable Guzu even knows the processes better. And this is not the first time these things have been happening. So for me, I want to acknowledge as parliament that there is a problem. And when we are doing that final budget approval, there are some nitty-gritty activity subsections. Those figures are not even there. They don't come. There are many things which are
Classified.
not classified, but which are under a budget code, blocked there. And for me, by the way, that was one of the things. The powers of the commission, remember the commission is chaired by the speaker. Do they have some mandate to approve some allowances for themselves? If that is there, these are things which are going to open many things. Does it need a review of the act? That maybe there's a limitation to some of these open decisions that the commission can make. If we look at a bog of a school, if the bog cross-checks with the headmistress that, the school fees, there's now something, we've been getting allowance of 60,000. Now next time when we go for meetings, let us be paying allowance for bog members, 100,000. And that is implemented. You're not going
I
to
want
come.
to give
You're not
some
going to
information.
come and say that this is what this is it,
No, a quick one-
irregularity.
a quick one that
so for me,
Yes, okay, maybe.
what I want to
Just
say
some
here
information,
is,
one.
until now, we are yet to prove.
interrupt.
For me personally, I'm yet to prove the authenticity of this document.
Thank you.
which is running.
There's information from
The
one of
information was that the Parliamentary Commission, under Section 6 and 32 of the Administration of Parliament Act, has powers to determine privileges of MPs and the Speaker and themselves, but they must have that approved by Parliament. I think the issue for debate should be whether what these people took was approved by Parliament. And you can only answer that question by looking at the evidence. And I said the evidence starts from the source documents, not something somebody purports to write at the tail end.
I think we are with Oguzuli on the same page.
Yes.
That for me, I want to prove. Even this page which is being read, I'm saying it is already tagged somewhere that effect.
Yeah.
So for me, the reason why I have not signed is I need that authentic information.
Okay.
I read the letter he wrote. He circulated it, and I think many members of parliament were like, "Yes, Honorable Guzu, when you get this, you publish it and we see." And before he wrote, they were asking. I think for him that is why he differed from those other colleagues who were bringing initially.
Yes.
So people were asking the members who are bringing the petition, you people, throw us some lights
Yeah.
for justification to either believe in this motion or not to. But as you said, actually nothing has come. You just see people writing their own things, somebody going to capture half a page of a document, and you know with the social media these days, anything
Very
can happen.
fast.
As the Honorable
Anguyo.
Anguyo said, it will be the most stupid thing if it is actually proven
Yeah.
that now this budget,
It was passed.
we truly passed it.
With those
And
items.
I think this, for me, this thing has come at the right time for us members of parliament to clean ourselves, to, the way he said, to stand firm and not let the citizens down by misappropriation, because now that is where it has started.
Okay, short commercial
So,
break.
but for me, what we're urging is that these are monies that might not have necessarily been put for service award, and we want to get to the bottom of that as parliament.
Okay.
And prove, because people these days can cook things. If Oguzu has asked for all these documents and nobody is responding from the library, it's not there. Handset people cannot give. Clerk to parliament cannot give. What does that also mean? And we're putting our members, our colleagues who are bringing the petition or the motion to task, that before you start to bring this, what are the documents you have?
Yeah.
You give them to us, by the way.
And we
They
read.
are also failing
Exactly.
to give to us. That's why some of us are saying,
hesitant.
you don't just somersault
Yeah.
and sign.
The argument is those things do not exist in the source records. So the people who say they exist must then prove that they exist, because the burden has shifted on people who claim they exist.
Those are one about him.
I don't know. They have not taken a stand.
No.
For him, he says they are still trying to understand.
And
The-
consult.
and the best way to understand is they must go and make research in library, on Hansard. They must get the reports. They can write. This is easy to do. For me, I've been able to establish because I've looked around and
He has looked around and he has not gotten anything.
The burden of producing documents does not only lie on us who have not signed and those of us who are saying we are still understanding. It lies on all of us. Even Honorable Guzu, the petitioners, the initiators who did this, they did not have any basis of what they are petitioning. That's why he's now writing. Because some people were saying, what are we signing for? What are the bases? Now he is writing to the clerk to get the documents. So it is all of us to now go deeper and dig out and come up with the facts.
Thank you.
The argument was that the argument the petitioners had is that the reports and the Hansard do not have that information. So we are saying, if that thing is there with the government, under Access to Information Act, all public information should be accessible.
Look,
And that's why I had to make that request.
The question someone may ask, Honorable Lillian has raised a very pertinent issue, that there's a problem in Parliament, and the way I read her mind, things seem not to be
Comfortable.
doing well.
How things
Parliament
are
seem not to be furnished with documents at the appropriate time.
Everything is on hurry.
Everything is on a hurry. But the question is, why on hurry? Parliament is the biggest institution in this country where things must be put right.
And organized.
Now, who is supposed to put this right?
The petition is an attempt to put it right.
Therefore, why must be a process being put at stake?
And
But this is
maybe
the-
one
this is
thing
the-
I wanted to comment on that is that Parliament works with the technical teams from executive. So the policy frameworks and what are also brought by the executive, PS, the minister, and what that engagement takes place. But I want to agree with him on the issue of rushing. Uganda said that they were going for programmatic planning instead of sectoral.
Yes.
So I want to say that in Parliament, that thing has not worked. I think that was a decision made in the 10th Parliament or even the 9th Parliament. What we are doing now, even the committees we have Committee of Education, Committee of Health, Committee of Agri, all separate. And that is how the committees are still working. Now, when you go for programmatic, they are supposed to be literally three thematic, humani, capital what, those things where things are merged, and so people can give a lot of time for it. He said maybe over 15, 20 committees sitting. And I can tell you there's no, unless you want to be relevant, you just want to appear. Committee of Health is sitting, meeting the minister with the PS with all their documents. Education is also sitting. Agriculture is also sitting. And that is why here they don't put you two in these committees so that you give time and you internalize.
Okay.
Now the parliament budget is also scrutinized by a committee. But that aside, at the end of the day, it goes to the budget committee. And I just narrated for you what happened when we were approving the last budget now presented by the budget committee and the minister. So I want to agree with him. And for me, that's why I was saying this petition has come timely, and it will not only tackle, if we are serious as members of parliament, it should not only tackle that element of the backbench commissioners awarding themselves. It should tackle many more things. In an event, it comes out that this document is true, and it is there, and we approved it. The question is, why didn't we see it? It comes back to what he was saying, how we let down Uganda. Then from there, if we are serious leaders, it should now give us time to question ourselves how we should do things differently. And the mandate is in our hands. That one I want to accept. To change things and to make things work better.
And the laws in place, the timelines in place. The only thing is the MPs have not been able to assert themselves. and this is an opportunity.
They don't have time.
Petition, no, they have time.
Okay, let's go for
They
commercial break.
for other considerations.
We'll
they have
ask
not
one or two questions.
assert themselves.
Okay, we are back here. I just want to ask, maybe in 10 minutes time we'll be able to finalize this, and then we'll give time for our listeners because they are calling. We also want to hear from them. Olaboguzo, you were number one actually in West Nile in terms of the performance. Last release. How can your colleagues refuse to greet the speaker as like Olaboguzo was
greeting the speaker every morning.
just to say hi, speaker. We shall put you on the record. Say it is now 4 or 5.
Yes.
How do they?
It's disparaging to say that
Can we bring
we go to parliament only.
Can we bring those on zero back home? They come
But it's good practice that kacha parliament yabo mimi da ya bazin chosen nizu askuni mini yonzera le ba mani kiba yonze pedade tas ba sakta de anja ke accountant okuninga njiwa erba ta edilba iba kuruni deliver for chosen nizu ya de then ba vin ni be cho yayo kala ngwa kilili de asile banwa introduce ala yo parliament makala fe ba gaka ani ade badaka ba na ade badaka rese sa zin si deliver yon zazuri cho ade ba de ani totoko
the medical injury na lo
deliver ne cha alore azi mininga dan che chita se ka ba prime minister pele rati ba da amadu wala angere alore prime minister ni lead of government business baziki committee chairpersons baziki ministers ki board aki ise suyo nzanga extras anda onda bukani anda ene session anda koda si erina ruzo minister ntano afia zade yo kianda yoru yo woro police neza ado yo woro badrango ado di woro le memu onvi
tiaro de nyapa nyako
so ere udriasi se su yo do onvizo basically committee chairpersons amanta yonzara dia budget frame work paper kacha lema a process committee parliament policy statements ke yi ba idira ma duche yi parliament ya baka laws sector kan ko kala mboda ne ide yimu yo da ke onvi e chekene e yivini lebe su angere yonzazo basically di chi e yivini bazi lu bortsa banonve la dika da cho ade lobi akute ola kolaro even giririzi enako girni ade la lombeza chesi mi girmirizi yo immediately ro e dazu
kate parliament la lubertisi
so rinde ade katas yo lubertisi yase ba chok vana dri ba modu ko chobine fo anger askone parizia ti chobine be limitira
Yes,
i rivene yo meti ondaza
Research.
erle mi onda yo meti bibika imu yo midike da ando
Temeri fakimile mto media la zo ni phone number 1.
ani di ban sendera fa pe radiar kote mesu itu es basga de yeri de la fatir berozo so in le arore ai de bele mo yon zabata e yo ba no fu da ri yo parliamentary le ta bazma yo idri e fu pe din ni e bi adi duduru kan be si idrisi kan kwa dia do wari adin bo turi aka inir sa dia din za yo dini ba di robi akan ta parliament ni paru ban record yo woro de matamba so sere record de ka de sele chota mi de yo oh ba fe send ba ze de dikeri ayota amade keni yo dria ma exhibit ni jiraka e ka yo gwezo oguo le yagu ma photo afo oguria kana do an me gba kan ko le ba zama na ka guru oguria e ka lo menelo o trelo dani yo azi enjoro ne kinze pari aziki Uganda ma de asar se enjoro ale ke di chokere ne ko ate suru azpi ya yanga kirinzo enjoro ware me ne ba dale de belo par ni te e ka musuru amadu marcha pia ba mamileni zizuru ware mi choni enzonza badaro aguni agu yon mete va ko ni reko so ale yo dileba yon zos parliamentary choka ndondo a eyo azo por mazi yo tandundu bani yo yazinga committee da duala MP ni chichozo sele chozo obi azebe chitasi ngwara ndi abeji yo azikini send bani anji ofezo program azen bombe loan scheme bani bizu fizi ofezo laki bama anyode amutirate bama jisendera ministry maanda committee education dria rule aga yorase ba oro azidi tikidri kini yora mar ala sender ma ministry of education akini yo sender ma de ala memu ba mejiri district ya ba memu anjen ko pe ba ya kuodo askuni mesu ba kalu tatar kambala e sender si anjin le ko pe ba ma de kuodo suki de leba ko pandundo ma mu yora magate ji parliament ya ba tiki yora ni woro yota report committee azida de ba da kan ditizu dunada obigas adulo le ko parliament anda gapora beji yota azen bombe genetically modified organ GMO ni bale lord ala ne passé manda ba lo patope yora gapsir president Museveni mvina tima be perando ayota rangaziko so you ask chika to adani aba duleru mi patu kongolo ko minni to yo pa yo surdi serse mi yon ma tepe you astabele minne yoronjo onje lerke amazike bele ba yo lerke adaba deki so ba azidu yor devini party ma politics chofichi ta yene da bor lekini yodi no party nre ngaru adruza za ruba manza yodi ne so me na da amade de ni mi chono da ler ba amadia ko askoni yo amana si wazu dunia to ni yodi ni obi maza koraya kan ko adre yo mi party ni adun da ki amachoke da reko askoni ni amuke dale yo chopi edunya za fepe obi ni kilirs esta se yo stable sende de pedro lerki sende de me yo dun baria ere ko bi maza kwenza ta de aro joke ada te misu baka mo yo yo dun ba mo vudu na chiro ba joke mo vu te de ramadria yo de nonzi ko bi maza ko aya erni obi maza ko kurserle amepe yo ramete aya yo azir kita de bele yo ta mi chene yo ni yo ronzi procedure baka vote be dini ba lo doni amazu vuki yo ler made sire nako yo deni adedin ko ayota de yo deni so yo daler kidi sasi mudule ba fe aman then yo azin vi no popo yo mali arere yo akuodele de ki oduko ni cha mi biembelembele ya ngazo receive se kan local leaders we say local leaders aziki akusela serele chikiti MP dutoko mina yoke yor fakini reportiko yor den yor fakini reportiko so e kade MP ni yo problem da mazima report fako erde mu dala yongonza mavoralu de lebaro ba madra kuoda ke yo aze adone yitoni lu ni tini pa mavorole so afara de ma ba president you as stand bridge your radurani you as ba your radurani your aki luni sukuma ma brole afara di fe ma de president adi le bama nzeyo so the ba man bi su mani oyo parliament ya bandi yon ma kana fe lazo realo angirda te ba bi wa tv na barade eche ne agura do yo kan ko yo ko din de imanera yo kino ba mo je sendes maka je sendes sa woro agur dinaga ba lo ale kan ko raga kili ale basikene afar mo rodio anzika musukulwa ka report card jiko kan ko ka retest ya ban chozo amazon varde afar va kwarku badinga ningoni yo len yora dika yo report card dani erimva mazi ngaza deza warrior mon nirsi yo askuni yo bar parliament ya daki le yo ban nzer memu chiro yo baro akuode letro aka yo nze yo rana aro jira ya erinzala amado tora ya eri himvuza fa mo kaira ya eri sukulu ki otora ya man nirse madra ngwa dere askuni sukulu amade ki ta gameten du kur maziki gameten du aro jota o bakwita ki yidu angoto sukulu na rezo ki ba sukulu fe ania afazi yipi ki bo tu andra mani chazo impiru amanda sende su gamete go billion mudu noro nya sa sende amade 2 billion kali madro
Kalado.
chekene agata mani garde ere efikaza so balande yoraki ama idangwa erni yonma wura ners te yovno man niri Uganda nta de kirili ka budget amari sar serine budget mo bar ntuna adri ban nya adri yo ichozo obi maza kozo dinde ka van budget mo bar ne erfo mari ofezo enarako mari ogogo cha trillion kalero mdito so ai kwazi bane chozo budget malia angir tunio ka van budget ne ikatangera awa bango diari sukingon bango diari kisukingon bango diari sukingon mi superi azikia be suki angere aga region azidi ni suri otita yo mba yo war nundori ki kanerdese so di woro yo ichiru azia manangarbe erdi anle amamo tu obi akuandra matipe baditro nezukene bata di mamilega
Okay.
Ale yo ama empiru ama biki obi ama ni cho milegara ba se diti gagir dondosi aditalo yor ma zi halo ba gadi girdo sen ko ba choki dlebesu ergazu girdasi te woro yor ke claro la memori parliamentaires askone ka ri parliamentaires ko second you azingazi ko
Okay. Honorable Papa, yes. Never under chingo.
Award for Minister Ale Honorable Guzuni congratulating, especially of West Nile area. Back at your bereti, the normal ordinary member of parliament. Ma level I didn't say your West Nile Toninia. Actually, ma tell Honorable Guzu.
Yes. The mama no community.
They dancer money.
Mama no community.
Ba amazodi rupinine. Le tema yedini. Maybe yiba amanivini consulting. So that at time T learning is a process. Yo nzeza parliament yari rebeleni amama cardinal role azi bani ozu amu dare mazer malori and yo minutes sawa minutes of yo mivur ba manira engazo mini ngari yari but yo Uganda strefini ba manira ende ba azidi terini yo borle yisa wesu yo nzezo angiri yima responsibilities azi yine hold district. You don't take example of the Prime Minister every Thursday.
Yeah, 1 hour.
A full hour. So do a loriac. It's what they on the Palaco Carinara. Depending on the issues. I committee chairperson room, me sector, back a bills key process. You renangonian. Mini reported a key ziria, gone. Me try on the session allo, can meeting allo the area. Me what they on the Palaco Carira, do allo. So it comes now back to me needing me responsibility as it ayo me backbench. It does not mean that me choni onzeku, which is evidenced by Honorable Buzuni. Either Rarse Espride is due to that level Rarse. At your party agreement, at your azimadrir in the multi-party dispensation, let's only your desert. That is why party kakita are strong enough. Actually, for me, at times the Malay feel like Uganda dia number. Opposition yare kakita are strong enough. Can echo if they yima unuko are strong enough. Return idea, any debate improve. So NRM, my members, kaki mu you as it discuss the caucus. Okay, on there discuss kilili. Eva mada. Ovoni diluta yo borle ba mulu yes yo idine ko caucus da kata a caucus. Okay, so yo discuss kilili benefit ba suru Uganda di velerni. Kadi mu stand a little parliament yando ani rada ezatani. They discuss on there kadilwa amalu dini ba lu ye dini emelu ye dini resi echeke ni zata didachi. Te yo ini party ma stronghold so occupy yokiba ye dini reason ni dini ka akilili leteba maneda onziko aya yo te di bazi di nze yo angere kongoni mama no kuyo aguka politician ni
even yonze korole waru ya badwa
ela enze de belen yo matier dera mo kuyo ba fin parliament ara ba ta mini na kwa ya tiriki imunga yonga politics ya kuna campaign area style ngofiare miata mimbidini ndani yote nzuri dikani afa tini bazi di affected ara adada emi bibi nerera azenze bazi di sentence dazudini mundisi sira ewanere wereti te bazi da quiet ikaruda da ina yere ruzi yela le mudrisi bilo miata doctor PhD berki student me engineers ki student me medical doctor ki student me prophet now academic yo they tell the banza aguni yo course is it true that a PhD holder nini yoko nzari yoko anindo
tona bukoparo wangu di wesele ezarpo nyanya de ni vani zero di
eyo dandi yera bazi di gardens yazo se adio seare amecho tiniko yene ndra lenza ngere tore nze ndra di depwani amecho ni diniko but ya ni vindra parliament da malia bakesa se complain saro Honorable Guzuki ni ale di word mafia rayo iko bati yini ni eto ininga andi afada malata zidi ika baby Honorable Guzuki ne yonzerara and I want to say you are in very key tangible issues. Yes. But I can tell you that you can microphone bedini mika of your car where it can you order la labo yo la labo procedure la labo
yes no
davine labo like that davine labo yes not yes not davine bo te baki complain saro distribution ba you are chia prepini but that is it is not a secret.
Yeah,
it is there by members of parliament. As the kere fili udua do lere amiri mitonga pale ko karir. Tabu azirni ya yonza pale ko karir. Balo. So you want that tell me oborle your the numbers. Then there are some debates. By your minute alo. They donga minute na. Be mu yo aya okay sar se ba de minute figiri. I be mu yo minute alo. But for me in the 1 minute me I will just sit. Because ma papa remeto ni imagine ma pass so minute alo debate fair. It becomes challenging. So but this is your the planet as well any body number there kita but it take your board let your research me adi yonze. But at the value of fair you are going in there in arma yose. But at the recording. But at the recording that ye ndoani Max and other tabs even yoza. Because you find there are people, yes, they stand. But what is the content? What are they saying? So, I'll demand your money in there, Maria, your money in there, money, Philly, ma, ba, pivu, a cool, the mamma represent Kirarki, Terni, your borle, Yoki, Yamavu district, Yadia, locally there. You wonder like meaning there sa yura si bani budizu ngoni bani bo bizu amavila refuasi ngoni dai yo daki mane fili le mama di ki yora ri aye yo aziki divinity ka iti West Nile si amempi woro diru that's one ngasa fe ba woro manze yo brimia that's why you can go as alonze you ati driani speaker ni be iri na ni ki do back up beni nani esafesi amani woro. So bangani ni sawazi ngapya api yopi yozu bada adinga yonze woro toto dimi ere yo. So mani mavoria mubi. Yo mani ne pertinent mavu yepi le manzei personally ma irarki mubi ki nzera. Azeri ki dini badi balance but azeri ki learning but for me ale ba honorable uguzu player ki applaudi. Amo eyuni yevo saro te yo borle yo amasi supi West Nile ya diare budget di baka tondi baka bani amavoto korna aga amavoto korna aga otoko pari ezidi di ya mbondeni de yo amasi ni suzu members rore di tezo amani kini yo aziti ebiki West Nile sis woro le di adini le di tititani very good tititanda amavoro mombo sako eri yo ya amedo nda tititambu titadi ne draw ires draw I see Fokuma SLS. So that is a challenge for us by Western area. The Yozokin Leba Mechiti, as put it Paris, Azidia, Yoka Aludin ba Waron and Kafutobe, Yo di Binze, Tamavu Minazin Sagu Lurica, Irilu Amiga, Bazi de Yorle. So that lady a moment zimile, Lebelen Bamanze Yora, Baka Yonze Quadi, Yinga Yonder in his style and gossip.
Yes, honorable. Very bad and then difficult they are going to this.
All my colleagues really appreciate you any presented this. All and they repeat into details.
Yeah.
Nzaki bani de you are done. Parliament in it or sawaro, depending on the speaker's discretion. It showed no saro. Sasa mudinalo iri adijani. Saro sorom sa mudinalo 3 hours. Sasa irigisa mudiniri 4 hours. Sasa irigise ni aluse niri. Time bani fe parliament nila chani members ini yokin nezo exhaustively ko. I wish committees ni bata sazi fe were parliament katedo sawa yekere ta ala number versus the time given is a challenge where some members don't perform.
Say hi to the speaker.
Not only that, to express. Then the other thing, speaker can do into consideration the numerical strength. Party vori, they take regional balance. My colleague honorable and if like we are here 4, sometimes you find you sit in one row as colleagues from one region, and maybe 20 of you or 30 of you are on this side. For example, Amadri, NRM, Mudri, West Nile, Amakala, when the speaker is choosing, speaker ni aspects like he do. Kata honorable angoyoni do abo Marvin West Nile the West Nile erembo the other ceremony do dale. So kaya do abo riti ceremony do dale. So meaning opportunity di mini to su yon zezumbelembele da it's a divina to be werera. So one aspect ini ba duzu yon zezuri looking at the numerical strength based on the party, based on region, based on what. Then you as it on oguzu ni order. Yon zezambelembele miyo ejiri is based on research. Our late speaker, late Olanya, Joanna Kini ile parliament the maa research based. You as a mini milunga evidence ni yo afazi mini le ni yo as a mini refazu ni yoda onjirasi afara fedi. Those who don't do research, you are not informed because somebody will challenge what you are saying. Even the speaker will challenge. So those who don't do research, those who don't engage in finding out more, that one aboguzo ni yo already. It can find it difficult. That also affects.
Minister Kadem, for a 2 did
so you need to research in order to be a very good debater. You need to research. It's very key. Mozo Parliament, my library, Mozo researchers. By the way, Parliament employee, many researchers kimingi, but many times
they are redundant. We don't use them. We don't come to them to find out information. They are there to help members research for you on a particular item. So that is very crucial to us, especially amateur newcomers. Then another aspect is taban in the committees sometimes move beyond the time of session. Some maybe because of backlog of work, but they carry away committee meeting when session is going on, so you lose opportunities of talking on the floor. Yet you are doing something in a committee. There are some sensitive committees that will proceed with work until members complain and speak even under a pronounce kini. When session is on, no committee must continue doing business, which now makes people to draw and come to parliament. So sometimes they are limited because they are in a committee doing parliament work. And then the other part of committee, many as the committee didn't gather, actually this scorecard does not take into consideration what people do in committees, what people do in field work. Sometimes miadri house malia yori pay meeting in the field. For example, this one financial year, I have been in the Committee of Foreign Affairs. We move a lot. We move out of this country to check all the foreign missions. Embassies amadri would kuruadike ba matiope. Beto committee as matipe ba mudri South Africa has any care modri ke mu Canada has any ke mudwa. Odu ese amati border points amadi Uganda bedi ke andri Mirama Falls pia amamukatuna border pia. When parliament is going on, you are in the field doing some work, depending on which committee you are in. The other previous year, when I performed well, I was in finance committee. We were always sitting. I'm a meeting committee there, then you are in session.
It was 27 years.
Yes. That time I performed well, I was around.
Yeah.
Sometimes my colleague Lilian played the education committee. Iki schools wara. So when committee is in the field, you don't have opportunity to be in the house and you don't have opportunity to be around. That one also tells you why somebody has not performed well. Then amaleta di NRM dede, when there are some issues raised. One, it is the Prime Minister to answer. Two, it is the government chief whip. Three, it is the ministers whom the Prime Minister will assign. Amata di junior parliamentarians kaniku regional whip rore. Me boss kadi your answer, but you can't now, come in, you can't chip in, you let it go by what your boss has answered. So it also lessens some of the opportunities that we would have used to discuss more.
Okay.
No, but let me end now. I want to appreciate Honorable Guzu. He has performed well. Number one, he's a senior legislator. This is his second term. He's well abreast with the rules and rules of procedure of parliament. He has read the constitution more than some of us. He has the practice of not only him, some of the old members of parliament. You will say why didn't others perform like him? Those who were with him or those who were ahead of him. It depends on how one puts effort. As a kozungopi. So for him, he has been so committed and then another thing also for them as opposition members of parliament, because the speakers want to balance this thing, they will not want to pick NRM and independent. By the most of the independents are NRM leaning. So back at NRM keep do afaranena like the speaker is biased. So many times the speaker will pick 1, 2, 3 from NRM side, turn on the opposition side and pick them. Back at Tijare Bablesu, the Oguzui, Dwasemuzui, Honorable Odui, so Ima Kalafewera gives them the upper hand to get the opportunity to talk more. Okay. And then of course also tap Honorable and Yerbole, some of them are aggressive. Without the speaker picking them, because they are all the people, they are not sat down. Ikenga amale niodiki speaker anime sat it down. You have even watched the speaker warning members that don't access the microphone without my permission. But if it is an old member like Oguzu and others, they access without permission, speaker yo isurisi erekoma mukeludile. So that also tells you why sometimes by niodiki. So itengadi amadre ding amwe balance it. because we are now when we go back, we return to parliament, we shall be at a par with some of them now. Okay. That feeling that manga body will not be there, because some of these people, they joined parliament with these speakers. Okay. Actually, wait a bit. Honorable Guzu and other colleagues came to parliament with Right Honorable Anita Among the same year. They came in the same party. They are like buddies. Like now, Honorable Lilian Beamedo Adro. Akale Lilian Kata Parliament de Chiani. I will also be aggressive. My microphone do knowing this is Lilian. And Lilian even your the dear Timayata Metro de Revaco. So those things are there for them. They are favoring. They are favoring people like Uguzu. So now for us, we are also coming up. By the way, we are very good debaters, as Honorable Lilian said. We articulate issues. You are aware that you are Mavu West Nile. We have raised them. Sa chakusi, sa kata charayo aje mini miomve ama farmalia ba were ba ne onze. That will be another time. There's a lot that we have achieved as the 11th Parliament. Two alo individually. We have worked tirelessly by raising these things on the floor. Amani join we are on record. That's why Achi Adze Menzo Ingazu Kampala, it also Karuma Pere Muniadia, the stringing is done now. I'm very sure actually they're about to be ready, and it is because of our efforts. Nzela Menzwaje, I took few hours. It also Karuma, but on Nzela rehabilitating Gazo Ayago Bridge Madriada. Nzela ni muri adin bani deori repair maintenance repair. So you are money be residiki. They have been working. Yo Andra Bani City 5 you wapediki yezo. You are a dediki. You a bidri diadiki. You as a academy constituency. Achikaniko me picking me council abo. From your councillors or LUCs, you'll always get that opportunity to raise it as a matter of national importance. Then you are the kakidimu on issues presented there, like reports, like motions. It now depends on how the speaker picks you. If the speaker doesn't pick you and it is a motion, it is a report. If speaker doesn't pick you for the debate, sometimes we part to pale mudri, pale kaliri. Pale Kalina, you guys see how we struggle to catch the speakers. And then when they repaka, the Oguzu play the day in your microphone, they do the cavius. So Kadi do boy play my own. Okay. So our first. Yes. Yes.
Megale, why am I not ruled out of order?
You are a senior.
Ale no for Professor Azinga amaporesi. But in a special way, I'll congratulate you. Performance. News here, my please. Social media, I mean, last hour. The parliament here, me in the Yoko, Yodi Minzangua. Amandi Varsi, Badi Mazilo, Afakadi devil, plenary Kakidi devil, Badi di emu journalistic camera bazumo tie on Zezo. But you the forward the agent ki did play a mavler ruru amadiga kini MP amadin dare onze the draguni onzengwa corridor mon viandra e miazini mi andati drazimotia e me yonze nzila onzi ye polisi sendu badri ado e mi kalele gbanzila madri afadretia mingi te yonde dinze parliament ya kemunze de teka adios e kateyo dinze parliament ya tekin si bateyo de noti ni performance tabia muke. So mi MP ni mi leader ni leini eyo mini nzeri ere relevant position ngomalia iri ala mini urukokoro as a member of legislature presiding officer ni mi pezo nzezo. First of all e kanga fidi ne bo bedo ba ni miade first one of the first sessions bangalo ba understanding adi akokuyo nze eyo pire malada adoni. So therefore speaker ni Minezo mi pezo nzezo mini meeting itiazo levini meeting mi vle mandendre yo banenjale rema ye fisiri se kadi sawor singa yo azi fisi fup milani yo meeting go speaker ndi mi peade onze. So sometimes it is the quality of the MPs which will determine whether you give an opportunity to talk or not. So therefore your most important area, go back to the drawing board. If you have not been doing well, strategize to see that you create impact. We have so many issues here, like Arua City is actually the second largest city in this country. Ayuva alone has over 600 kilometers of Maram Road. Tesadisi road fund, maybe su million turaro. Andra Arua municipality, which was 11 square kilometer, and Andra Sinisu 1.2 billion. Arua City, 2021, 2022, 2023, I said a million turaro. But we have members of parliament in Arua City. Right now, they have now increased the road fund to 1 billion. But what can even 1 billion do? What can 1 billion do?
That is road maintenance.
Road maintenance. What can it do? If you look at the kilometers of the Maram Road we have. So there are so many issues. But unfortunately, money back imu edo emeyo yimodiriki nze eno panenzeri echidiro zitabani miti pezro beko teni lere ikaliotiri nze basi buku afarzati utiza mara basi si result kemo fuba yokini adi anzenri langiri. So this is a very big challenge. And finally, Oguzu yotagini me information isu me vele local leaders of LCs keep. That's why you have a lot of information which puts you on pressure. And I want to congratulate you. Ale minot professor mine zinga mine avini nirakini mito zinga rule kumi zinga ba mi vuteri keepers. Likewise ane honorable ati maybe zinga councillors even central division keep tala lo mini imiazi baki kini mindi tazo MP do borsi mi opioni ba minzi LMT azinga baba ni opiope mi vuti di beko mi lezi meeting director bibe tedere eledia bo bi no pe ejo amapi maporere na mai ikem parliament abo information ati mapivlere mi su city council mi vlere mi su marsa district local council e kadezinga councillors mi vlere kipeko e kalititi beko mi inspect guni information famine ngondo sometimes remi attitude emi adezaze fepi be chone mini information feko mi to divini ni challenges mi vle constituency mi vle city council mi vle district adoniare mi to ni niku askole mi etimi pate mupi information fepi ni beko. Many of them don't attend budget processes of the local governments. Ik had the budget. My process banile mayor, but approve mayor. Now what are you going to talk? Saban challenges kick explain me dayo. You the minimum local government many representative of Adoni. Definitely you have nothing to talk.
Hello, Access. Alan Gonia. Adia. Adi? Yes, this is the. You need to talk. Okay. Okay. Ngonia. Junior Cotters, this is Mr. Yes. Yeah, tell me ready. Simon Junior Katazia, yes. Hello. Bonjour, yes, that is sister. Daniel Gazo va bonjour. Ngoli access. Mi te redo la ghieri, ngoli. Esista. Chop. Yes. Okay. Gonia. Hey. Also. Adia. Adi. Hey, Rico, ti ama tutaka so resista. Okay. Hello. Hello. Go. Amado muke kotu kijia kwadia. This is stuff. Yes. Okay. 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 For 4 minutes, Patrick Ngalza Kwada, yes, our time by maybe 2 minutes each. Honorable Guzo.
What for Bam, everybody? Yo, I'm in fair money in Batar, the kissy. Yo, poesia, Madrid. di mahali are yozu vini nezu kinangazi obi modu kose skuna mundale yo amada siku amobi ma yose yo amani ngarle madri yo ini leri yo rani mi patingwar ko yo pore yo ran ba ma za korare ana yo partete biki nga obi modu kokoko biki du ati dini asibara lu konduji kanuku yo daler ne adindo du kondo ni chan yo no maziki dibele ochokwa zitamini na jelapo masende chaku gongon alerike askuni road fund ka ayota ndane federal sende azeni muzu per sub county alose cheke ni middle case risidi sub county da cheke sende alerike isu kura askuni mi usardi sub county ko woro bechi woro
sub county aziri beti divisional
sas bana fa waria baka fa wa sub county yani afara leri chokedi ni trote zatan chwade yo daleri yo parliamentary chiki muka kwada girban so yor ko to zurbele amana be vade askuni yor ki bakanga ejia da message ko banga nini adu ni yor ni arko e waguni zaidi ya corruption pitu adu yo tre le anda gamilon kiradike ta yor mo mile garku dele bande bele vade bani so yor jizu message ya erde bele le mo agi pikado mo tidri e yor ande cha message be yo ada bere di yo ada edeji be yo ada kokori yo ediji bade mo yor ya ta yor baka le tini to da se anvedas afare sign zo kur me fi bala yor mo tito anvedas bama mumlenizi afama pema edo pingupi dia doare ko so dan ngade onzi yonze la peni achi peni dike ba di nidi achi manzeta de ara achi ma vaka chabo te yor mali angangar pe kore bazi ko on project affected persons per monipia se dia vora pia se dia ofenga azin ba yenga project andala ba je ini dikiko
sign up
and kirate you see ban project it can prove that there were resources commitments so send that amu dingwa because the taba ma cover the maza you did that and there was money so government should be able to explain afarikingo it was ba ko keep blame oh me sabotage me but you keep the law the law of compulsory acquisition is that you must be compensated before badumi angwayuko so basically you are right didn't let up me respect it because those monies were there provided in the budget cadre yo chekini baze tudele tinikala so eridebela da ma yempiru yo di mamile gazo so amazi ubigaria amata I mungu makobaza amani chozu muzudule yondema gabe ashizuri bazi atimayota bitu esa mamani microphone de papa aleta yora ne correctete ayota parliamentary wezinga zurchi bazi chokiga mbaro dindele bazi ayota ma pale aloyo azenga babima
microphone pause
ni oguzudo obi ayota parliamentary ma tikunuko eyo man nire oguzudo aworo vini man yonzari asiri aminera aka yonze aworo parliamentary na adri yere askuni yinira yo man nze de rio azi opo dermo David dale yon mendu bang babo so mini chozu matrozu ya la skala se mira mudunza azo onze nisu mini ane ba samar da fe ma yo ma de da
ni go
ba de mu yo azir kiando
okay ora papa tumiris
awan fo anira yo ta civile ati ma process vleria amavu voraria familia zazike andati process anda kimukeku so sendanda ban lefe yenere yima ango bani la yorube etianda iko so asikidi andra red flag yokenda yodi ba mondanga vutini dikaka anira mani yonzeria di district leadership pie amobi ba family ministry kiti contractor pie ba di pie yiri assess zura and te yobor lebe resign kidi contract ndona skoniga kanda ko resign zose so yivela sendere taking ba mufe ta amount in redi yozara and ba yo so pasopi ime yo mo directly ri anani resata roko tamani yo borle ani ra mavu arwe district kan ko from side ya yo azibi epi yo pi line di ba zini sabotage kan ko le mase afati di imangwa yore erdi amavu vurama area kan ko arwe district ma area yo Mr. Letties yo vude yo azi signing my dear kini yo I think irinte gazor sa yo ala fa di sign ko askuni manga good ler ma support lera te da anite yo mani yore ko ale yo di adini yo mani yozu aduma sa muzo afa di sign zur ale afa di askuni betor yo sa di siria mi oguni mi oguselinge fi azin si sovena enjondra e sovena ya danira so yo mani ma sa du zur lezu nizu yo di yo dania renizu babele nani yo pepper yo nderengo I eritia eri yo arma vuti ondadi anenda mani mbo bazi di lemi vini ngambo even as inde muiga yo ekelemi toni yo egami sekurle erin ale ndo dunza fe ma ba vuradi ni ngazo yo zo adi ambo dabo adi yo muvini even pepper ridubo eri da guda mo minga na zimu ka kurle dini ko so yo ndadi ma vuti di bele ni furiadi corruption ama ale ridi mesa madre yo didiri le mamu mesa madara tamani yo borle yo efopia lo dire service awa diveledi ye mu parliament ya yo imami lonze angir and le yo di mata parliament ya ra
Kuna batini.
Yo komani yere ala wat for fe ba simu baba appreciation fe ba vini mbata fe ba mani constancy yota abatara do Madrid di na ala wat for fe yo service delivery the region amavo de ade ame BOB am a best era individually collectively meetings ndondo kiyezo oduesi amamu anyapa agbere adalera amebe akuo dia awatane ka ade mokeku ere dia de challenge ro ale divini yo ma councillor honorable afani angoyoni oduesi anyapa amani ji akuo bore e ka awa mokeku letade e dadinira amavo gogoku adosiare amani oversight area amani didare appropriation area oduesi me yodi ki message. I am on record and it is on the city record that financial year 2021-2022 we lost 600 million in the city of road fund which disappeared in thin air. I am on record on that. Even when the Minister for Economic Monitoring came, RCC's office was tasked to do this. Investigations were done. I have not seen accountability on this money. 300 million disappeared for the financial year 2022-2023. 300 million. Miranda Diara, Bani Baki apprehend Zungoni. This financial year closing, government was sending in every district 1 billion. Every district, including cities, 1 billion. Amavu city, there 1 billion. The councillor zero. He follow the office. Town clerk, engineer, 1 billion. The Yarua city, they are doing follow Rari, Anico, because academy added appropriation as the area, Atiria representation, Emita de Bella Mazako, other leaders, they are key follows. So, Mavu sent to division area. Odumana Tizu where they are, I have not seen any road worked upon. I have not seen drainage system worked upon. I have not seen culverts put on some of these roads which cross. The state of road in Central Division is appalling. Yet this financial year which is closing, we are now in June. We are remaining with 3 weeks to close this June. Now, two and a half weeks to close June. Now, I don't want to see that we are returning this 1 billion meant for road maintenance. On top of this, we have 150 to 200, which is for road fund. A total of 1.2 billion here in our account, which government remitted. Many times, everybody blame the government sends money. Every district, even including Maracha, including Arua, all the people listening to me here in West Nile, government is a billion alo.
road imivo de ki maintain zo ba lo mazimile even district leaders in Madria engineer pi Madria cow pi Madria le send de ba monveko amanga tandi sere zo kini be return send back to consolidated accounts out of this road fund. Not only road funds, there are other sectors where money is sent from government. Money is sent from government. We don't follow these things. So as we do oversight as members of parliament, akemu diaka concerned maziki rezibo, I will expect you, our local leaders, take it up from us because we have information. Back I send the release in the document fetch. Kina tima mivu sitia, honorable Soro mivu sitia, honorable Feta mivu sitia, honorable Ematia mivu sitia, about 1 billion. We have those documents. So akadio de di mivu diabo lete mi ekwamaza. Let's make sure this money does service. Lastly, eyo honorable Liliani nzede ade, yonike ni sign document da kudeniko. We are mature people. By the way, we do a lot of consultation. Even me, before, when this process was going on, I talked to Lilian, Lilian talked to me. We said, let's understand what we are signing. And indeed, we are here. If we have understood fully that there were evidences, there are source documents where we should censor these commissioners, we are going to sign that document if it is deemed that there was a mistake. But if there is no mistake, we have committed the parliament by paying that money by our commission. We have paid the commissioners by our commission. Now we wouldn't be right to sign a petition what we passed, which will cause litigation. These individuals will take government to court. That's why we are careful. We don't, by the way, Honorable Basari came there and was confronting Honorable Seji Kubo that I have been instructed to take you petitioners to court. Should there be no proper evidence and those guys take the petitioners to court and the court rules that these petitioners were defamed, they were accused innocently, we will lose taxpayers' money in litigation in compensating these people for that defamation. So whatever things we do in this country, we must have it in mind that it must not affect the taxpayers. That's why we are slow. We don't want anybody to coerce us. We want to understand what we are doing. Lastly, our mini irritadisi revenue feandra money boda ma registration embazia ama members of parliament ro me lobby andra revenue be number plate numberless motorcycles vore ba ma fair money half cost then ba ma fair installment embazia de be ide embava disi embazia disi mata mi wesinali adi do advantage di odu asiba were adi malia mi mo registration da ye URA ebe sikisa kyolaze de amer mind zo ale divini emisa kyola laba kodiki low reduce kini grace period bani fe were half paid number plate isuzo da eduke advantage dara embazia de ni deria award for mini merere say award for sawadis.
Okay. For Yolomani Kudiari, allo les MPs à Mavriki, they need to do due diligence. So there are 4 core mandates. So that I want to read the Bible Malama la Kundenen is the book of lamentation. Book was let's be proactive, let's find preventive measures other than Badimudo. Okay. So this is a clear indication that we are not preventing issues, but we're only focusing on solving issues which have happened. Send the Honorable Atiman Yo Millionaires, Torazia Ave 2022, 21, 22, 300 million, 2022, 2023. The Malaya Island on record. MPs key, town clerk pay, and then the mayors keep here. They are the members of the roads committee. And I'm on record. In one of the members, in one of the meetings, I was chased by your chairman of the roads committee. And Baru and Maporia, the reason I mean, my drozo, mint the Malatere, Eleandra, do zero in Nico.
Was the day you were chased? I don't think I was there.
By Choppy, send a million Torazia, million Toronade, Ave Yadoniare, Lemi MPs, Roro City Ediki, 10 o'clock PM, Minister on the me, reason a mini councillor. Drozumit the mallet and very radoni. You have been losing your mallet radoni. So is that mention of Michael? Is that the Mingo me send a cow me seculia, a lumia me seculia, I didn't kill me on the Diamorutiaco. Send a billion already, yes, rehabilitation of the it would call it time of council. A city council send the ballocate in the last shoe. In the Lazar, in the La Uchiba, Mupi on Batia, the side of my Bipera Malaria, the Pajulu, as the Luqua, as the Adomia. So, feedback, it is a money source by a moon. The key there, then a pudi, financially the deco.
Okay.
Te, ba, on there on about me. Because you MPs, you are a member of the road committee. I'm not there. So, how far you have gone with the plan? I had to have a recent meeting. So, it is you to tell us whether this money is going to be used or not. It is you who are the members of the road committee, not us. Because you don't want to make us to know. Finally, is not our problem on record. Our city council road equipment road equipment andra our defunct our district honorable no BLP kuworo our district ya our city ya road equipment as alone yo. So therefore afazi our city ni thousands letters in area as kuninzla ma road equipment yo.
Okay.
E tursi bawa road equipment as get ya ba fe our city ni ko ya diosi. Ba fe district audio de collector couple ni ba fera tero city ni ba fe ko ya diosi. So is that the
10 cities didn't receive
so is that ban yo ban letters ukore eradeni road equipment yo te choppy road equipment ki deep MPs ki e be vade le midi road equipment aro city imengana nzla amabele arodi bange desert lia sesa kokoro
Arua district very big share.
Asizo
Arua city be amebi fa Arua city nera.
Asizo
So very much appreciate kidara.
Asizo Abu is okay like bands yes e yo bands parliament e service delivery influencer so Aleman yo means me influence allo then put in yako identify find out that do buzu PLR mi di su bele devu iri research ni on the mandu na submit you quote you must quote relevant laws so that it back up your submission bani yoda do azingazo. Finally, look but yazikini paru uku eme Western MP0 ta honda bole njo bole eme chitiko eme azilo le yo region di duba e ma campaign ma agenda ro pa manelo dia ne da adi di Western sini ane yo de si yo eme vleri ma wuru nga di elinte dedi.
Okay.
Le eme boro live from Acholi and Lango parliamentary group.
Thank you for coming. We are out of here.